This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome back to Off the Break Podcast, your podcast dedicated to the current movie theater news, operations, and insights from the people that book the movies. I'm Cody, and with me is Kyle and Ken.
Hello again.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everyone. We're back. And we wanted to talk about some upcoming release schedule changes, some just films to note, some trailers out there. Talk about the huge news that landed in our laps this morning with Wonder Woman moving its release date.
Everybody take a deep breath. Just in
and out.
Okay, this isn't the first time this has happened. This is not the last time this is
right.
going to happen during
People,
all this.
we have been through this before. This is not the first time a major motion picture has moved its release date this year. It just really sucks for everybody.
It will always sting.
Yeah, it will. No matter how many times we do it this year and how we know it's coming, it still feels like a stab in the heart.
Yep. It's not going to be new anymore. It's just going to be another bummer to add to the list.
Do you hear my calm voice? I'm calm. I am numb to this.
Dulcet,
No
the
panicking.
The calm, dulcet tones of Cody's voice.
Of my voice.
We clearly did yoga before making this episode.
Yes. We're just becoming numb to the chaos that is our industry.
Yay.
And maybe we take Xanaxes before we come to the office. Maybe that's the trick.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
I don't know. We're in our 30s. Isn't Xanax supposed to be something we start at this age? Not you, Kyle. You're still in your 20s. You've got the young man's
speak for yourself.
metabolism.
I'm still 29.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Maybe at heart, but you're definitely in the body of a 30-something.
Moving on.
Dad bod. Okay. So let's get into it. The big news, like I said, Wonder Woman moved back its release date. Not surprising. We kind of knew it was coming. It did move back to Christmas Day. So when, what was it? Top Gun Maverick moved out of Christmas. I was actually thinking Christmas looked a little weak. So this isn't a bad move. Aquaman also opened at Christmas time and it did phenomenal. It just was a great movie at the right time for people that want to see something nice and not a horror film or anything like that at Christmas. So this will be good.
But it's a penciled in date, everybody. Don't sit and count your chickens before they've hatched.
Do not write in pen. No.
Oh, Cody and I thought the same thing.
Yeah.
just let's wait it out. Let's see how things go. Let's keep growing.
Yep.
Let's keep promoting. Let's get some more of these other titles played. And Wonder Woman will be just a nice big cherry on top of this year.
At the end of this
just
year.
To finish and see those big grosses again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Aquaman made over $300 million domestically. Wonder Woman, it makes sense why they would want it at Christmas time. I don't see it, doing $300 million if things are a bit up in the air.
They're going to be better by then, Kyle.
You think they'll be better by then?
They're going to be better.
Just put it out into the universe, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, put it out there. We're going to be back to
of course
normal
we're
by
optimistic,
Christmas.
but if I have to be pessimistic,
you know that the winter
I think it will do
snow
moderately well.
Will kill the virus. Snow kills virus. We all know that. We're just got to get to the snow flying.
Also, the sun from the summer kills it, and also falling leaves.
Yeah.
Surprisingly enough.
Beat me by a second.
Welcome to your very positive theater operator and manager corner.
Yoga exercises.
We're here to drag everybody along with this
Snow
up the hill
will
of positivity.
Freeze your breath, and therefore it cannot be pushed out the 6 feet diameter radius because it's so cold, and just falls to the floor where we will vacuum it up as part of our cleaning measures.
Now it's feeling a little like preachy, kind of fake newsy. We better move on from that.
I just thought
Cody's science corner here.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, don't hope for big Christmas Day numbers, but it'll be good. It'll be good at that time.
No, we've always said that Wonder Woman was going to be the point where we were going to see normality. We were going to see some numbers, but it makes sense that 2 weeks from now is not going to be that time.
No,
it's going to be the holidays.
Yeah.
It could be Christmas, and if Wonder Woman moves again because we haven't started to see $20, $30, $40 million openings regularly, it will. It absolutely will, until there's a movie out there that can sit and do $50-60 billion. They're not gonna sit and live with a $30 million opening for a $200 million movie.
So that changed some things moving around.
Changed your October.
Really changed our October.
Changed the next 3 months.
Yeah.
Pretty drastically.
Wonderful.
So Sony, before we found out about Wonder Woman, did announce a film titled Yellow Rose was dropping October 9th.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is still tentative there. That's about a young Asian woman who has dreams of becoming a country singer. So should be good. Should have some good music in it.
Write that in pencil too, because it's Sony.
Because it's Sony. Yes, and we never know how Sony's gonna go with their stuff.
For all we know, they're going to pull the title and they'll say it never existed.
Yeah.
Yellow Rose, that wasn't a movie. There's no trailer.
And then was it Universal that put out the Freaky trailer?
Yeah, a new Blumhouse horror comedy.
Right.
It's Freaky Friday meets slasher horror film, and it actually looks pretty good.
It does. It has Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
He is the killer who switches bodies with the outcast teenage girl
Who would never be an outcast in real life, but we'll roll with it.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll go
it's
with
Freaky
it.
Friday meets slasher, so
she is the So that should be good.
No other thoughts, huh?
No, it's Universal. I don't
We'll
have much thoughts on this.
cross that bridge when we come to it with them, because there'll be some nuanced VOD, PVOD.
Right. We don't know.
Release.
We don't know what Universal's going to do in the next few months with their releases. They did put out this trailer. It looks great. Normally, I'd be really excited for it. I was especially excited to see Vince Vaughn in a comedy role. I haven't seen him forever, and I was like, where has he been? Where has he been in my life?
He's been doing some very, not strange projects, but he's been doing, I don't know, I guess small projects is the right word.
I want to see him in a funny role like he was in Wedding Crashers.
I watched him on
the Vince Vaughn that I
Hulu
love.
movie. He was pretty good in that.
Which one?
This new Hulu movie called The Binge. He was actually pretty funny in that one. But
That means nothing to me.
just
That's not a real
outta
movie,
here, Kyle.
Kyle.
I mean,
Get
I'm
outta
just
here.
saying,
Hey.
if you're craving some Vince Vaughn in a new movie, there's one for you.
Yeah, it's called Freaky, and it'll hopefully be in theaters.
Fair enough. I hope so too.
Okay.
It's called Wedding Crashers, Kyle.
Yeah,
Just watch that if you need Vince Vaughn in your life.
which I did. Well, a few weeks back, actually. And
Hey,
I
it
was
still
like,
holds
gosh,
up.
it
It's
does still
hilarious.
hold up. It
Yeah.
is so good. So heartwarming.
With a young Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Younger.
A young, quote unquote.
So what does this mean for the release schedule now that we don't have that anchor Wonder Woman on October 2nd? Right now, there's no releases on October 2nd. That was kind of the only thing there.
On purpose, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody stayed away from it and gave it space to
Right.
do its thing. And
So we still have, at the end of the month, Greenland, I think from STX is still going.
Yep.
So cross
on
your
September
fingers.
25th, yep.
On September 25th. Also, there is another film that we're kind of booking and looking at called Shortcut. I think it's from Gravitas. So keep that one on your radar. Another horror slasher film. So then nothing on the 2nd. And then on the 9th, we have Yellow Rose from Sony and...
Save Yourselves from
Yep.
Bleecker Street. I
From
don't know
Bleecker
how wide
Street.
they'll play it, but
yeah,
if you are able to get it, it'll actually be
Right.
a pretty funny comedy by the looks of the trailer.
Are we skipping Grandpa? Doesn't Grandpa come out that week?
The War on Grandpa? I think that one's in September, right? Or, sorry, November. Why am I getting my release dates mixed up? All right, well, yeah, we got the War on Grandpa too.
Yeah,
Kyle
that's
started
probably-
a little early today, folks.
yeah. War with Grandpa is that 101 Studios?
It is.
Yeah.
101 Studios. That's the one I'm kind of targeting for all my locations. I am just throwing everybody in on a sheet, throwing it to 101 Studios and being like, please confirm as many of these as you can. I will take it anywhere I possibly can. It looks really funny. At least it's something nice and not horror, not adult. It looks like something you could take family, maybe even kids to.
Yeah, this is definitely our first wide family release
Yeah.
since we've gotten back.
So I'm definitely booking that everywhere. I'm trying to get Greenland everywhere I can as well. I'm hoping that STX goes a little wider with it than what I originally thought they would, given that it's, I think playing overseas and stuff right now.
And now it's going to be the anchor of the end of September, the beginning of October.
Anchor. It and War with Grandpa are kind of the only big things on my radar right now that I think will do legitimate business.
What about Death on the Nile?
Oh.
Because I guess that's in the second half of October, right? So.
Yeah, and Disney, I think, is still going with that. I think that's a firm date. And Death on the Nile goes...
I know it's second half October, but that might...
The 23rd.
Okay, yeah. That one I was sort of right on.
Yeah. On the weekend before that, we've got Candyman. And that's going to be our first real test from Universal with what they're going to do with their releasing.
If
with
they
their
stick
prints.
with it?
Yeah, if they stick with it on that date...
And make it theatrical. And give us the full run.
Right. What are they going to do with Candyman? That's going to be the first real test. Because right now, Candyman director Jordan Peele is... Producer is being... Whatever he is, he's being a big friggin' baby.
Wow.
That's me being
Strong
nice.
Words.
I want to call him...
Are we about to start
something
beef
worse.
with Jordan Peele?
I want to.
I don't think we'll win, Cody.
He's being an a-hole. Okay.
Universal's going to come after us, be like, no.
Not surprised he would decide to work with Universal, like Minds.
Breathing exercises. Breathing exercises.
No, he is saying
Woosah.
that he doesn't feel, in his infinite wisdom, that theaters are safe places to be for COVID. Even though an article came out today that said 2 in 1 adults that had COVID or whatever got it from a restaurant, but theaters are the bad ones. Jordan Peele is such a genius now. We should all listen to him. Theaters are scary.
I can tell you right now, I just went to a restaurant for the first time in 6 months. I felt more safer being in a theater than I did at a restaurant.
Oh yeah, for a number of reasons.
It was a big one. It's a big restaurant too. Like I was actually spaced out pretty well, but even still, I see all these nasty people scattering around, not wearing masks and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I don't want to be here. This was a mistake. So I don't know. I don't know how else to convince the guy that theaters are much more safer than like any other public place.
I want to know, has he been in a theater? Does he understand what movie going actually is? I don't know.
I mean, he started on YouTube. Maybe he thinks streaming and the internet's the way to go now.
You got to actually leave your house, Jordan. You got to leave your house. You got to go to a movie theater. You got to sit down and you got to realize that no one sits next to each other, that you can get your 6 feet distance, that people wear masks, and that everybody faces forward and enjoys the movie, and no one's going to get COVID from this experience.
I think you've been pretty calm and measured so far.
Sorry.
So why don't you call him like short, or say he has a bad hairline, or say his movies are no good?
Well, I have been the past. Not for me. Just say that.
That's not anything surprising either.
I don't need to make fun of his looks. We're above that. It's all about his critical thinking skills and his feelings.
He's an a-hole, but no name calling.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would hope that he at least wants the movie to be released at some point. It doesn't have to be now. Like, as long as it's in theaters, I'm okay with that. But I really don't want him to, just be like, no, it can be put on, like, streaming or VOD.
I think that's the way he's going.
That bothers me too. Like, I really do want this to be a theatrical release.
If anybody's listened to the NATO webinars, they know that I'm not alone in this assessment. It's very frustrating. It's hard to not have the creative community on the side of movie theaters.
Yeah.
It's just going to be an issue.
Most of them seem like they are, but
he's no Christopher Nolan. He is no Christopher Nolan.
Yeah. Well, he
in many ways
made his bones as a director, producer, doing Get Out, doing Us. Like having these big theatrical releases that got critical acclaim and made tons of money and then went away. Like that's what you do with theaters. You go away. But the idea of putting a horror movie on streaming, we've done this. I mean, we've played horror films from smaller film companies on VOD day and date, and they don't do any business.
No.
They're not made for Horror movies are made to be seen in the theaters.
And you're supposed to go out and get scared by them. You're not
That's
supposed
the
to
whole
be at
point.
home
Yeah.
with all the lights on, scared by them.
It's not as scary in your house as compared
No.
to a theater.
Where you have like no control really of your surroundings.
Yeah.
You can scream in the theater and freak out Kyle.
Which can very well happen.
Or Kyle can scream in the theater,
I'm
freak
a-
out Kyle.
I'm a wee bit jumpy. Yeah, I scare myself. Scream and then scream again.
Who's that girl?
I still jump every time I think about that trailer for Prodigy, that movie that didn't make any money.
Yeah.
The jump scene at the end of the trailer, and I still twitch thinking about it.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It does bother me though. Like I wish he would at least want this to be in theaters, even if it means waiting. I mean,
Right.
the guys who do the new Halloween movies, they're waiting.
Yeah.
Like because they know like this is gonna do well in theaters, and that's the whole point of theaters, is to be able to get scared or enjoy yourself, and have a good time with it.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens with Candyman. I'm not holding out any hope. Let's just say I've not added it to anybody's booking sheet.
Yeah, and he doesn't even actually have to go to the theater.
No.
He himself doesn't have to go.
He just
It's-
has to be positive in the idea that, theaters can be open. I'm not going.
Yeah.
If that's his thing.
It's totally
But we-
safe. Closes
but
his
we-
door.
Yeah.
That's him and his hypochondria. It's
You
not
must
us.
have something.
We had a great, clean, safe,
We
healthy
had
experience with ours.
such a good experience at our theater, and it was so clean, and there was, like I said, nobody was sitting around us. You naturally spread out in a theater. It's way safer than the gym or restaurants right at this point.
I agree.
So
Me and my dad both agree the gym is not safe at this point.
yeah,
That's why I'm not going.
that's exactly why. So yeah, that kind of, you're looking through your October, and we hopefully Greenland at the end of September will have some legs, and then we'll get a little bit of a bump with War with Grandpa, and then we kind of
Then we're off and running again.
with Death on the Nile on the 23rd.
Yeah.
So we have something there, not anything huge. Just enough to introduce new product and get that little bump in grosses that you're looking for. But it might be rough for a couple weeks on your screens. There might be some pretty low grosses in there after stuff starts to peter out.
I'm gonna throw this out there as like a happy-go-lucky what-if situation.
Okay.
What if Disney, for no reason at all, just decides to move up Black Widow to the start of October? What if somehow they come up with that decision?
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
I really don't think it's going to be Disney though.
probably
that does
not.
that.
But
No.
what if they did?
I
Wouldn't
would-
that be
like
nice?
it'll be like
If
how
they-
Wonder Woman was. Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be a good bump.
If they did, I'd be shining Mickey's shoes right now.
Yeah.
you have no idea how bright red those things would be.
Yeah. No, and Disney, or Black Widow might not be safe in that early part of November. I mean, really the situation is there's just, while most states are open, a lot of big cities are not. So we have a lot of huge markets, where the bulk, I would say, of the movie going business is done, is just not open still. And of the ones that are open, there's such restrictions and capacity that just really hampers any growth or momentum that you get when you can open a bigger film. I mean, most places you hope are 50% capacity, but there are a lot of places that it's less. It's like 25%.
Yeah.
Or there's just a certain number of people allowed in the building, and that is just throttling the momentum and the movie going experience right now. It's just destroying it. So
are we just going to be hoping that Tenet keeps things
Yeah.
from kind of destroying itself?
I think
Like it keeps
think
that
Tenet's
momentum going?
a great film. It has really good word of mouth. No one is going out and being like, "Oh, that's a crap film." I think it's doing really good. It's definitely not an all audience picture. You can't really take kids, although a lot of kids aren't going right now. But it's still done really, really well, and it's still enjoyable. And I think we just need to see it continue to perform. You need to keep the momentum up.
Yeah, we
with
just
it.
need to figure out a way to release an animated movie with John David Washington playing a reindeer or a snowman or an elf,
Right.
and just keep riding that train.
Yeah. Happy little snowflake.
He's a snowflake.
And he brings on winter. No.
And it kills the virus, apparently.
Kills the virus. Yep.
If the leaves falling down won't do it, it's sure to be the snow.
Yeah.
Then the snow starts falling up because there's time travel involved. It becomes very confusing right away.
No. So that takes us on to how did Tenet do? Warner Brothers has withheld the grosses from the national reporting sites, so we're unable to get a true picture. And what that tells me is that it was weaker than what was expected, which is unfortunate because I think the film is really good. I talked about it a lot on last week's podcast, how I really enjoyed it. And I think it's there, but there was always going to be some issues. It is confusing. It's hard to market. But a lot of the feedback was that from the theaters that I talked to is that people still didn't realize the theater was open. So number one thing, you got to get the messaging out that you're open and that you're doing the safe cinema protocols, that you're doing all the cleaning stuff, that you have restrictions in place, that you have to wear a mask, maintain distance, do all that, because that does actually make people feel better and they're more likely to go to a film if they know that those protocols are in place.
Yeah, I mean, I hope also that once people start hearing that Tenet is actually released in open theaters, that alone will convince people to go back.
Right.
But you're right, though. What it really comes down to is promoting yourselves, like your voice saying, like, the theaters are open. We're making sure it's as safe as possible. We've had people already coming back and having hopefully great responses about it. So you have to make sure to reach out about that stuff.
You almost have to like build your clientele again. So we've gone so long, and some of these locations have been closed so long, the people are out of the habit of going to the movie theater, which has never happened in this industry. You've never not been able to go to the movie somewhere in this country at a certain time. So it's almost like as if you have to start over. Like you're a brand new theater and no one's ever been in your doors, and you need to convince them to come in. And so you're just starting from scratch again, which if you've been operating for so long, it's like, what? I don't even know how to start over again. So a lot of that is just, awareness, letting people know you're open, letting them know what to expect when they come, and then letting them know that the product you're playing is good and decent, not something that they can get at home. And that's, I think, really important to also promote the fact that if you're playing Tenet, you can only see Tenet right now in theaters. It is not on streaming platforms. So you need, unlike, I think there's some confusion in the market because of Mulan and Bill and Ted and some of these other films that people thought were theater films, but then they went to streaming. I think that confusion is still there. And so you have to break above that and educate people that if you want to see this and it is good and we are getting good word of mouth, you need to come to the theater to see it. And guess what? Your theater is now open. And these are the protocols. Yeah,
I have noticed that what you were saying with other people that I meet is that people are like, oh, Mulan is going to be streaming. That's awesome. Or, oh, Bill and Ted 3 is, I can pay for it on my TV. That's awesome. But the thought of a theater being reopened at this time is still very foreign to people.
Yeah.
It's just so strange because we're so used to, theaters always being there. Theaters always being open just like any other business. So, yeah, it's weird that we have to kind of re-educate the public on that. Nope, theaters can still be around. Like, they still exist. Like, movies aren't just on your TV still. So
it's like we got to start all over.
Yeah.
What's a movie? How do I go to the theater? And people really are, I think, not that they're dumb. I just think they got so much going on that if they fall out of the habit, it's really hard to get them back. And so that, unfortunately, that's where we're at.
Especially when the habit is being stay indoors, lock your windows. And
you're constantly being told that still.
Yeah.
And viewing habits have changed too, and trying to get a hold of people with these marketing departments for these movies is more difficult than ever. It's like everybody's watching 3 channels anymore.
No.
Or even cable TV, or even streaming services with ads. Like
Right.
you have to really find these people now.
Yeah.
It used to be when a major film from Warner Brothers or Disney or something came out, you couldn't avoid it.
Right.
It used to be everywhere. It was, I mean, there were banners outside of McDonald's that you were driving past. It used to be just everywhere. And now, and every game you watch on TV, every show had a commercial for it, but it's not that way anymore.
You know what the crazy thing is? The last few movie-related ads I've seen have been on Facebook. It's been when I'm scrolling through my feed and I see a trailer. I'm like, oh, I've seen this trailer. And then I'm like, but that's the only time. I mean, I'm in the industry, so I'm constantly searching these things out and looking for them, making sure we have them available. But just as if I step aside and I'm trying to be just a regular consumer.
If you're a normie.
Yeah, if I'm a normie out there, I only got ever exposed to it in my Facebook feed.
Yep.
And even then, I'm like, oh, video, I'm scrolling by this.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if the sound starts up.
Oh, I hate that.
I can't scroll fast enough.
So yeah, the habit of that, and we've been talking a lot in the office about this, how social media has really fragmented the what is consumed by everybody. We don't all get the same experience anymore. Like algorithms have made it so that consumer Codi only see certain films. So even in my newsfeed, I'm not getting all the movies I know that are out there right now. And consumer Kyle is probably definitely not seen the same films I've seen.
I'm not seeing the Lego movie over and over again on my feed.
or Pinterest cakes.
Yeah. Or the latest Ryan Reynolds.
Right.
Yeah. So our movie because our movie tastes are a little different. We're just not getting exposed to films and as like a whole big audiences, and that's got to be incredibly challenging now to get people to come out to these movies when they're just so unaware that they exist.
Yeah, entertainment, social media is just expanded so much to where it's impossible for every type of person, every type of demographic, age, what have you, can be able to see the same things as someone else can all at once.
Because
it's just exploded into millions of different directions.
Algorithms have decided that people only fit into certain categories.
Yeah.
So no more can everybody watch the same movie and get a little something different of it. I was kind of thinking of Die Hard. Like there's the action for men, there's humor in it, there's like good-looking men for the ladies, and there's like kind of this like a nice, like love story going on, and there was a little bit of something in it for everybody, and everybody could take away something. I think that's why it's so beloved and why people like in this time of repertory requested it. And unfortunately we couldn't play it because it's Disney, but I was just thinking, like, is there equivalent of something like that nowadays? Like in Tenet, was there enough that different people could get different things out of it? Because I usually don't like Christopher Nolan, so my algorithms wouldn't bring him up, but I really enjoyed Tenet.
No.
Yeah. Just crazy.
No, I mean, outside of everyone wanting, the experience that you, me, and Ken got out of the movie, no, it's not going to have that wide appeal quite like what you're saying about with your example being Die Hard.
Yeah. Because people
Have you seen Die Hard?
I have. Yes. You made me watch it.
No.
Yes.
I think you watched
with Hans Gruber.
I think you watched a show about Die Hard.
Maybe I
watched
that.
A show about Die Hard. Or maybe
whatever.
Die Hard.
It was just
2
an
through
example.
Whatever.
Oh no. If she didn't see 1, she didn't see Die Hard 2 or Die Hard with a Vengeance.
What's the one with Justin Long?
The 4th one, right?
4th one, yeah.
Yeah, it was number 4.
I knew there was 4.
I think so.
4 Die Hards. I knew Justin Long was in one of them. I couldn't tell you who was in those other ones besides Bruce Willis.
The reference was weird because I myself was not thinking you've seen Die Hard, but
good-looking man, a love story.
I was thinking Bruce Willis.
She did nail it.
Man.
She kind of did nail it towards the end. Like Die Hard, weird. Like people think of it as a Christmas movie. Like it does kind of have that love story element. Maybe people like that. I don't know. I was mostly focused on the action because the action's pretty good. Yeah, Hans Gruber is fantastic.
I mean, she landed the plane, folks, but one of the wings is missing.
Just saying, I got what she meant towards the end.
Thank you. trying to think of another big movie, but for some reason Die Hard's the one that comes to my mind in that example.
I mean, maybe Jurassic Park or The Goonies, like those two
Yeah.
popped into my mind where that's something for everyone.
Right.
Back to the Future.
What's something in like the last 10 years? I don't think there's been a movie that's huge all audience in the last 10 years.
Like all of the animated movies.
But those don't have things for men in them, like adult
I mean,
men.
I'm a man, and if I've
No,
enjoyed
like
a few.
Kyle's there singing Into the Unknown.
You know, when the first Frozen came on, I was hooked.
Yeah. Okay. So
See?
maybe there's something
There
there
we
for
go.
everybody.
Okay. Is it still Friday?
It's still Friday,
All
guys.
right.
Time has moved
Right.
slowly here.
Yes. Okay, so we talked about ramifications, Wonder Woman moving out kind of makes October sucky. It just not as strong as what we were looking at, and there's no lifeline. There's just not going to be a lifeline film
Black Widow. It's not going to
until maybe November or Christmas. And the scary part is I just don't know how many people can last till then. I mean, that's the big question. It's not that we're not getting product, we're just not getting that big boost that that would take the pressure off of owners right now, theater owners and
Yeah.
managers.
No, we thought it was 2 weeks, and then we thought it was 2 months, and then it was 6 months.
Yeah.
And, now we're headed into the deep, dark pit of winter before we see
Right.
a major blockbuster with possibly an audience.
Yeah. So, and Tenet's been great, and I'm so thankful for Christopher Nolan because it was a boost. No matter what expectations were, it was still a much needed boost, and it still did more business than anything out there. And so I'm just so happy that we got that, and that we're gonna have it for the next couple weeks, and
Yeah.
hopefully, like without anything around it, really, it'll grow, and it'll hit those measures that we're supposed to be hitting.
Yeah, we hope we can maintain, but if it goes up, awesome.
Right.
We'll
Yeah.
keep supporting it.
That's
And I know
best case
all of
scenario.
our
Yeah, 'cause-
small places will.
Because maybe if it can do really well and we get New York and LA open, maybe Paramount can put Quiet Place 2 back on this year. Maybe we can get that at the end
There's
of the
less
month.
of a chance than that than Black Widow moving up.
Just saying.
These
Like,
are
you never know. If the film is done and it wouldn't be hard to market that film, and we could have it around Halloween. It would be awesome.
It would be awesome. It
Yeah.
would be awesome if they put out a new Avengers movie right now too. But you guys are living in the past. This isn't
Living in the
this
past.
isn't your grandfather's 2019.
No, sir.
No.
Wishful thinking, but that's all we can muster up right now,
Yeah.
sadly. So yeah, just keep telling people to go see Tenet until Black
Right.
Widow moves up.
We do have-
Or back.
Well, we do have Broken Hearts Gallery open this weekend.
Yeah,
So
Which is a
hopefully
normal theatrical window, and it's Sony, and we actually booked it and got it on screen.
we did. And it
So it's
should
real.
hopefully play to the ladies, offer something a little different than Tenet, which I think plays more to the men.
And it's a teenage movie because it's
Yep.
PG-13, and it'll play to younger audiences.
And we all know
broader
how
audiences.
teenagers and apparently college students are not afraid of this virus. So there should be no excuse why they're not at the movie theater.
Broader audiences than hopefully New Mutants,
Yeah.
because there's
Oh,
no
I think so.
there's no mystical or mutant aspect of it, so we can hopefully just get back to like a comedy with teenagers and
Yeah.
get back into some
I'm
normalcy.
just a little worried. It is a girl like comedy, but they say penis a lot in it. And I don't know.
I did
In the
notice
trailer.
that.
Look at the trailer, guys.
I did stumble onto one of their, like, I don't know, 30-second ads or something. I was just going through the comments, just curious to see how people
Yeah.
were reacting to it. And so many people were complaining about, the women just being like, why do they keep saying your penis and this and that a lot? And I'm like, why are you up in arms about this? I thought it was reversed to where we wanted.
Right.
Am I in the wrong here? Like, when did this
I don't know.
reverse of the reversal happen?
Way to go, Kyle.
Yeah. I got a couple people being like, do I have to put this up on my social media? They say penis a lot. And I'm like, yes, you have to promote this.
It's a teen comedy. Like, do you not remember what was said in, like, 80s teen comedies? Like,
We live in weird times, Kyle. These are not normal
You can't
chaos
sit and
times.
float in the middle, Kyle. It had
Yeah.
hard right or hard left. Or
Yeah.
you can't just sit and coast down the middle of the highway. You got to ride the shoulder.
man, apparently.
One side or the other.
Yeah.
Goodness. There's no gray area anymore.
No, not in the year 2020.
God. It was just, I don't know why it was so baffling to me. I was like, when did this happen?
Yeah. But
Like, when did people get up in arms about it?
It's really funny.
Everybody's worried about the virus for a while. You didn't have these crazy things
Yeah.
regarding movies for like 6 months. All these controversies.
My goodness.
So and so says this or this happens.
I know, but you think that if Sony saw that, they couldn't just re-edit a different clip with one other funny scene that didn't have them
every
saying that.
R-rated movie has a green band trailer,
Yeah.
or they cut it differently. But
Yeah.
they made a red band trailer for a PG-13 movie.
Yeah,
I bet if you watch this movie, you wouldn't even catch these moments.
probably not. But
Because you shoved it in a trailer and condensed it down.
Yeah.
And made it very aggressive.
right,
For what it is, probably innocuous in the movie. It's it's an attention grabber. Let's just put it that
Yeah.
way.
Apparently, I think it grabbed the wrong type of attention. Like, I think people were supposed to be like, "Oh wow, they said this. That's so funny. Let's go see it." But now it's people is like, "I'm gonna boycott this movie," and I'm
Yeah.
like, "Easy."
you gotta be careful when you start throwing out terms like reverse cowgirl in these podcasts. So we're gonna get
Yeah,
canceled.
Hey, I thought we walked past that.
No, this is a teachable moment.
Yeah, as Cody says every word we can't say on a podcast. Do you have any other gems you want to drop here real quick?
remember what kind words you said about Mr. Jordan Peele?
Well, I want to call.
Where'd you get
something-
where'd you get that mouse, sailor?
Oh goodness. So
I'm
yeah,
just mad at him and I'm flustered, trying to be professional. But come on, Jordan. It's
Yeah.
not dangerous to go to the movie theater right now.
She's being professional with him. You should see what she says to me, folks.
You're my assistant. I like to see people try to me too me, you to me too me, or whatever it is. No one will believe you.
ouch. We're off the rails now, folks. Remember, everyone, deep breathing exercises.
That's right. Okay. All right. Well, that's enough of this current film stuff. What do we got for our classic movies? Did I watch them? Did I? Yes, I did. Although I could not remember what I was supposed to watch, and I had to go.
Yes, I did.
I had to go listen to my podcast to be like, what did I talk about? Which ones am I going to watch?
So we had 1,000,001 downloads this week.
Yeah,
That's how we get through the system, folks.
we do. So yeah, I watched Casablanca and Amelie because that was torture. So we'll talk about my punishment film later. I want to hear about Kyle's fun stuff. I always like starting off with that. So you had to watch The Proposal with Ryan
did.
Reynolds and Sandra Bullock.
I did.
And what did you think?
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Just Friends is better?
I thought it was funnier.
Yeah.
I get why people love The Proposal so much.
Yeah, because they fall in love at the end.
as compared to the other ones.
Yeah.
You totally made me lose my train of thought now.
Yeah, Cody. Yeah, stare into his soul a little more, Cody. Shoot him daggers. Just like, but it's better, right?
Yeah, it's got the baby maker.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It was good. I appreciate Betty White though. Like she was easily like the funniest part of it.
A young
but
Betty White.
a young.
Was a lot younger back then. How old is that movie now?
It was 10 years ago now, I think.
Oh my gosh. Could you
She's
imagine
still kicking it.
seeing that and knowing she's still alive?
Yeah, they probably saw that movie and they're like, this will be the last thing we see of her. And then she's still kicking it.
Yeah.
Beating everything the kids thrown at her. It's crazy. But yeah, no, I get the appeal. I get why people liked it so much. It just wasn't, as funny to me. And I don't know, the romantic aspect didn't, do anything for me. But I get the appeal of it.
You
like
didn't believe the chemistry between Sandra Bullock and Ryan Reynolds?
Actually, no. Well, no, I shouldn't say that. I got their chemistry, but I didn't.
Believe it was romantic?
Yes,
Like they're just best friends?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
We gotta kiss now.
Well, Sandra Bullock starts the movie playing a Jordan Peele, but then she becomes nice.
I see what you did there. Well played. Well played. So yeah, I get why people like it so much. I thought it was good.
Yeah.
It's a good movie. I'd recommend it if people, want it for like date night. But yeah, I don't know. It just didn't do it for
I
me.
agree with feeling that Just Friends is a little bit more because there's a little bit more fun elements in there.
Cody's cheering for it still.
Yeah.
Movie from 10 years ago.
I know. Okay. Well, I saw Casablanca, and I will say that it is probably my favorite black and white movie that I've seen during this whole thing. It is actually really good. The characters are surprisingly more realistic, although I didn't like Ingrid Bergman's like single tear, like that part, you know, where she's like, I'm supposed to be crying. Oh, single tear.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, and the fake like romantic kisses that are just like smashing their mouths against each other. But that's okay. That's how movies were made back then.
Yeah,
otherwise,
different time.
Otherwise, the characters were pretty good, and I actually really enjoyed that one.
All right.
So,
awesome.
Shocking.
I know.
It was pretty shocking for me, actually. I was ready for you to.
I should say I didn't feel like I had to fast forward through anything.
You didn't have to fast forward?
No, they talked at a normal pace. They were not like shells of individuals. I think that's what I liked most about him, is that like he was this heartbroken man that had done bad things and, you know, got left. And she was torn between, you know, being honest that she had a husband and trying to, and actually having really fallen in love with him. And that's the whole tragic thing, that everybody really loved each other. They just couldn't work it out at the end.
Yeah, I'm shocked. I thought Codi was going to Jordan Peele all over this thing, but she enjoyed it.
I did. Yeah.
Props to you. Well done.
And there was one you didn't enjoy as much?
No. No, my punishment film was not fun. I don't know. It was Amelie. It was very, very French. And I don't mind a French film, but this was like...
Yeah, name 2 French films that you don't mind.
A Very Long Engagement. I think that's French. And...
Backing away from the mic there, Codi.
Yeah.
Codi, why are you leaving? Why are you opening the door?
The Three Musketeers?
Took place in
there
France.
was a French Beauty and the Beast film that was actually really good. I saw it.
guess
It's
that's her
newer.
too.
It's newer. I thought it was good. Okay.
But
anyways.
so anyway, you did not like this one.
Yeah, I don't want to like poo-paw French films because it was French, but they talked so fast.
Does that have to be the reason?
It was no French version of Beauty and the Beast, but...
Yeah. No, it's just like the first part is they narrate, but they narrate so fast that you're trying to read the subtitles, and I couldn't even like really watch the film. But it's fine because it was weird going through her life, and then I really didn't like her parents, and so that like put a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I was kind of glad the mom died in it because she was awful, and so I'm like, what kind of movie is this that I don't feel bad the mom dies in front of her little girl? Like, I should be feeling bad about this, and I don't, because I'm like, oh, thank God she's gone. And then it was kind of cute how Amelie like did things to try to make everybody's life better, but in some ways she just ruined some people's lives. So I don't know. And then she fell in love with this guy, and it's like, really, that's the guy? Like, okay, 2 weirdos coming together. That's, I guess everybody's got to have somebody.
So I gotta be honest. I know of the movie, but I don't know what it's about. Is there a way?
So it just kind of.
One of you explain it?
It just kind of talks about Amelie's life. Like, it starts out narrating these wacky kind of points in time where she grows up, and she just basically grows up very alone. Mm-hmm. Her father's a doctor but never wants to show affection, so whenever she gets her medical checkups, she gets excited because he's like, you know, like checking her and actually touching her, and so her heart flutters because she's finally getting some human contact, and her dad thinks that she has a heart issue, and she goes, oh, why is something wrong with your heart? And so he keeps her from going to school, and so she just grows up without other children and very alone, and with these really cold and distant and harsh parents until the mother dies in a freak accident, and then she just grows up alone with this father, and she has like just kind of a boring, unfulfilled life until she finds this little box of knickknacks and decides to return it to its original owner. And it sets off this idea that she wants to start creating nice things kind of in the shadows for people, you know? So she returns this box, but she doesn't like let the guy know that it was her. She does all these things so that he happens to find it and stuff. And so she does this for various people in her life. And there's some really funny scenes in it. Don't get me wrong. Like when she tortures the people that deserve to be tortured, like the mean grocer guy and the neighbor that told her that every time she took a picture of something and a natural disaster was going to happen, she caused a disaster. And when she figured out that he was lying, every time he was watching soccer and they went to strike a goal, she'd unplug the TV from the antenna so he missed the signal. So stuff like that was funny, and I really enjoyed that. But she kind of goes through this thing, and then she falls in love with this guy who kind of grabs the pictures from photo booths that people tear up and throw away and tries to put them back together. And he has like this whole album of them, which I thought was really creepy. But she finds it very endearing. So she's like, this is my man, and I'm going to try to get him. And yeah, and there's a whole cast of characters around all that.
Okay.
Okay, so weird French movie from the 90s. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Blame it on it being French. Moving on.
I was like, it was nominated for 5 Academy Awards. And I was like, what? And it was definitely, it's a Miramax. It's Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did he have to do to get this thing nominated? Like, who did he pay? Who did he blackmail? Like, I just feel like
whether the movies are amazing or not, you always wonder a way.
Now. You always wonder now.
Well, I don't know. I have no idea if a whole lot of people liked it anyway or whatnot, but okay. I learned about that movie.
Yeah, it was just, she was nice and quirky, and I don't know. It was okay.
Just didn't do it.
It did not do it for me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get through this.
All right.
Oh, well, you guys have been so good during all this that I have a proposal for you.
Okay. I don't like the look you gave me, but
how long were you waiting to say proposal?
Since it was nominated last week.
Yeah.
I've been holding that one in.
Okay.
That one's been loaded in the chamber for 7 days.
Here's my proposal, Kyle.
Everybody's been working hard. We got the Wonder Woman news, which was expected, but still a gut punch.
Yeah.
So if you would like to take a week off, no required movies, none at all.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
No required movies. You can do whatever. You can watch whatever trash TV you want.
I can watch whatever trash movie I want.
You can just close the blinds and close your eyes and drift off into a magical abyss.
Yeah.
But.
There's always a but.
You each have to watch the first movie that is recommended for you underneath this podcast on Facebook.
Ooh.
You gotta skip a week. But by our podcast 2 weeks from now, you have to watch the movie that's recommended to you.
I didn't have good luck with this, by the way.
Yeah. I'm looking for recommendations
Harvey,
of...
the 6-foot-tall rabbit.
I actually would love to rewatch
Amelie
that.
Part 2, The Revenge for Cody. For Kyle, Amelie would be a great recommendation.
Yeah.
The first one.
Yeah.
But I think we've had enough. We've had enough this week.
Yeah.
Some highs, we had Tenet out. Some lows, Wonder Woman's out.
Right.
Let's just take a deep breath. But as a...
So you're saying next week we've got to watch...
So you have this whole week off. Next week we'll talk about what's upcoming. There's going to be changes.
Because somebody recommended, was it My Left Foot?
Or any Daniel Day-Lewis movie
Yeah.
you could watch. Because how many have you seen?
I don't think I've seen a single Daniel
You
Day-Lewis
have
movie.
not seen a single Daniel Day-Lewis movie.
So
I thought, since a listener requested that would probably be my next one on my list if I went to listener requests.
Oh, no, you're still being required to watch the AFI stuff, but you got to get to at least a passing
Where are we
percentage
with
in
that?
like West Virginia, okay? We got to get to 35% here before we're talking about moving off the AFI list. So after you listen to the podcast, go to Facebook and recommend a movie for Cody and Kyle. It sounds like they've taken the challenge on.
Yes.
I mean, I'm happy to take on the challenge. I'm fine with it. It all depends on
bring
Cody.
your worst. Cody's into it. She's taking a week off.
I am totally taking a week
All right, then I'm in. Let's do it.
We're into this. So first recommendation for Cody, make sure to say, this is Cody's movie, this is Kyle's movie. And we need to get this in there and get these recommended.
I love it.
Let's get aggressive with these people. Cody loves Black and White, Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, no. I wouldn't mind another Humphrey Bogart movie. His voice is not annoying. I mean, although I just don't get the old man, younger woman. That's why he calls her kid, because she's got to be at least 20 years younger than him. That's gross. It's gross, people.
Different times in the industry. We've come a long way, though. We should be proud of ourselves.
I hope so. I just find that so unbelievable. Like, she's beautiful at the cusp of life.
It would have been
old.
It probably would have been believable had you lived during that time.
Right. There are like no other men around.
No, there were so many less people.
So many
You
less
just had
people.
to hitch your wagon as soon as
Yeah.
you could.
Had to go off into a distant land to find someone else.
Yeah.
But no, I am totally up for this challenge. I want to hear what people have for recommendations for us. So, yeah, next time we post for this podcast, please do that.
Are Daniel Day-Lewis films boring, long?
Depends on which one.
Depends
Yes.
on which one. Oh,
Yes. The answer is yes.
no. Oh, no.
Unless you like Martin Scorsese.
Oh.
That's it. Well, yeah.
Which one's that one?
The one you said you watched.
Which one?
Gangs of New York. Like, yeah, I totally watched that. But now I don't remember it 3 days later all of a sudden.
I didn't know Scorsese. I don't remember him doing that.
You would have remembered Gangs of New York.
I do. Has Cameron Diaz in it.
All right, ready to wrap this
Plays
bad
the
boy
whore
up?
that they cut the kid out of her. That's all I remember. Because I was so traumatized.
How do we always end our podcast at these high notes? How do we get ourselves into these
I'm
things?
going to sign off for Cody, the potty mouth. Just
A loose cannon.
Cody, do you just want to drop an F-bomb and have Kyle bleep it out? Just get
No.
it out of your system?
No.
Kyle, just add a bleep right now for Cody.
No, don't do that. I thought I did very good today.
Sorry, but I'm
got
listening to the boss on this one.
Got a little fired up. I was trying to be cool and calm.
You weren't.
I wasn't.
Kyle, send us out.
All right, you guys got it. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Off the Break podcast. Hopefully it was a very interesting one for everyone. But you can find us on all podcast platforms and over at silverscreeninsider.com, where if you're a theater owner or manager in need of marketing supplies for upcoming movies, that's where we are at with those. Mm-hmm. And also, please be sure to give us those recommendations that Ken just talked about on our Facebook page as well when we post this episode.
Do your worst.
No, be kind. Make good decisions.
I am do your worst.
And recommendations.
Do your worst within reason.
Okay. Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Bye.